Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. Now, if you're wondering about why I'm talking so funny, I actually had my wisdom teeth pulled out about 3 days ago. And as you know, I don't let much stop me, so I'm here. I'm going to put out a video because I realized how many people were asking about this. So it's going to be quick. It's probably going to be classified as an MI short, so hopefully you enjoy. And I am feeling a whole lot better for all of you wondering. My cheeks were a little puffy, that's why I'm talking kind of like a chipmunk. But yeah, so, you know, hey, you got to just work with what you get out with. So I'm here and I'm feeling great. So feel great with me. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is my hydroponic solution. As you know, I've got bed number 2 ready to go. It is ready and rocking. It's filled up with water. It just needs the hydroponic solution. So I thought I'd take this time to talk about what hydroponic solution I'm using. I'm using something called Jack's Professional. It is a 20-10-20, and that means it has 20% of nitrogen by weight, 10% of phosphorus by weight, and 20% potassium by weight. But what makes it really unique is it also has micronutrients that is not typically found in your average water-soluble hydroponic solution. This is granular, so you need to mix it up with water. Sometimes you can find a water-based solution. I don't know about Jack's Professional, but I know there's a lot out there. So find the ones that work for you. Just test out what you're working with, and if you think that you can find something better, try it. But you know what? You never know unless you try, and there's so many options out there that you really don't know unless you try. So I basically just have about a gallon of water here. That's about all I can lift right now because of my stitches in my mouth. So I got about a gallon of water. You just need something to dissolve it. Basically, I've measured out here the amount of water. You want to take a measuring tape. This is really crucial because you don't want to over fertilize. You want to take a measuring tape, measure from the bottom of the grow bed to the water level. Don't measure to the top of the grow bed because you're going to over measure and the volume is going to be too much and you're going to over fertilize. So only measure to the top of the water level. That way you get the amount of water. You're going to measure the length, the width, and the height of the water. Now the length and the width can be done by the length of the beds because the water is there. The height is the water level. So length, width, height. Put that into a calculator on Google. You're going to find the volume in gallons. Then pretty much you just have to add the recommended amount per gallon. So I already have this measured out here. I kind of forgot how much I already had. I measured it out per the instructions, and I think it was like I want to say like 230 grams, something like that. It was like 230 grams to 5 gallon or to 40 gallons. And basically what I did is they'll have a 5 gallon instruction, so it'll say like 12 like 40 something grams for 5 gallons, and I basically just multiplied that 5 times 8 because I have 40 gallons in this grow bed here. So I basically found the instructions for 5 gallons, multiplied it by 8 to get 40 gallons, and that's how I found my weight. Hopefully that makes sense. You know, I'm all hopped up on meds, you know. So yeah, that's what I did to find out how much I needed to use. I'm gonna mix it in here, and you are going to get some crazy inorganic colors, typically what you get when you mix inorganics. But hey, we're growing indoors, so what can you expect? So coming in close, check this out. All right, so the water here, I forgot to mention, is warm. It is steaming. I made it about 80 degrees because you want to make sure that the hydroponic solution basically dissolves in the water, because hot water will dissolve nutrients a lot better than cold water will. So just make sure that it's warm, and that way you can get your hydroponic solution to mix properly, because you don't want any undissolved solids in there. It will mess with the nutrients in your grow bed. And essentially, with my method, the Kratky method that I'm doing, this will be all you'll need. You typically won't have to top it off. You can top it off a little bit, but you don't want to do that. It kind of messes with the root formation, and so you just want to make sure that you just don't top it off. It's best that you don't. I've never topped mine off. They've been growing just fine. and this will be all you're going to need. So this is great. It's just a once and done type method here. So I'm going to get this finished mixed up. It takes a little bit of mixing to get everything dissolved, but once you get it dissolved, I'm going to add it to the bed, and we're going to be ready to plant right inside of it right away. All right, so basically, here's what I'm going to explain to you to make this a little more sense. So the entire bed will hold 40 gallons. I have 39 gallons in here currently, and I have 1 gallon of water in here. This way, I have the equal 40 gallons. Because if I were to have 40 gallons in here, plus the water that I used to dilute the mixture and then add it to here, I would actually under-fertilize and you would see a nutrient deficiency. So that's just one thing you have to keep in mind, is make sure you take into account the water that you're diluting the amount into. And this is a 2-gallon bucket, but it's only half full, so I have a gallon in here. And it doesn't have to be super precise, just make sure that it's, I mean, it doesn't have to be rocket science, but just make sure it's not off by gallons. You know, if it's off by a quarter gallon, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. I just want to make sure that my margin of error is not off by, you know, tons. All right, so now I got that mixed in there. I'm just going to take my spoon and I'm just going to gently mix. You're going to create some waves, and I don't want to splash it all out, but you just want to make sure that you incorporate the solution evenly through the grow bed here. It's looking really good. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. Looks very evenly mixed, and I have not splashed any out yet, which is a success because I splashed a ton out in the first bed. All right, and also sometimes you're going to notice some white solids that take a long time to dissolve. Those will break up over time. I found that's pretty typical with the Jax Professional, is that they will have some white solids. Don't freak out. That's completely normal. So you'll notice over there's a little clump. I'll mix those up in a second. But throughout here, there's some few white solids. And in the other bed over here, with this bed, I noticed that within a day, they broke up just fine. I'm not sure why, but I find that with the Jax Professional. So just letting you know that if you do use the Jax Professional, that might happen. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully you learned something new. I am by no means being sponsored by Jax Professional. That's just what I use. So I'm having great results with it, so I have no problem giving them a shout out. Make sure you check them out. I'll post a link to where I got my fertilizer in the link in the description box below. And I think it's just one of their affiliate sales, one of their affiliate dealers. So it's been working great for me. If you have any other things that you use, please post them in the comments box below, because again, this is my first run at it, and I've talked to a ton of people in the industry, and typically it's one of those things, you ask 12 people and you get 13 answers. Everyone has their 2 cents to put in, so put your 2 cents in because it does help. So I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something new, and hopefully you're growing big or going home. I'll talk to you later. This is Luke from MIgardener. See ya. Bye.